Hey guys, I've got a very big haul for you today. I purchased some things before I left for New York. I purchased some things in New York while I was in New York, and I did also a little bit of online shopping while I was in New York, so I had a bunch of packages waiting for me when I got home. So let me not ramble on for too long. Let's go ahead and just jump into what I purchased before I left. I was hoping to get a haul video before I left so that this wouldn't be too big because I knew I'd be doing some shopping in New York, but I just didn't get the chance. So before I left, Space NK was having a pretty big sale, which they do, I think, once or twice a year. And usually I don't ever really find anything in their sales section that I want, but they had a few things that I had been eyeing, and the discounts were pretty deep. They were definitely more, at least 50%, and I think a little bit more. So I got something from this company that I had always been wanting to try, and it just never happened. You know, it's just one of those things. But this Icons collection, like face palette from, I'm not sure how you pronounce this brand name, Rodial, I think. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is a UK-based brand, and you can find their products like here and there. I don't think they have a gigantic presence here in the US, but I've always been interested in their contour powder, and it usually comes in just like a single compact. But I thought since this is a nice face palette that contains the contour powder, this one right here, I figured let me just get all of this. So it comes with a plastic film with the names on there, but I'm just going to leave that down. So this is Contour Light, Contour Medium, Bronzer, Blusher Soho, Highlighter 07, Highlighter 06, Banana, and Translucent HD. And I gave this a quick go before I left. I don't know if I was really impressed with any of these powders, actually. They didn't blend that well, but that is not my final judgment on these powders because I really was just kind of playing around with them. I think my skin was bare, and I thought possibly this contour powder was a little bit too cool, where it ended up looking kind of muddy. But I'm gonna keep playing with them. Anything that I mentioned in this video, by the way, if you want a dedicated video on the product where I go into depth, where I do the swatches, I do a demo, maybe I compare it to other things in my collection, just let me know down below in the comment section. That's generally why I do these haul videos, is just to show you what I've purchased, and if you want more in-depth videos, you can let me know. So anyway, so that's the first thing I got from the Space NK sale. The second thing I got is this By Terry Brightening CC Serum set. I haven't even opened it yet. It has the 3 shades that the Brightening CC Serum comes in, and I've always been really interested in this serum. I've never known which shade to get, so I thought this was really cool, and I think this was one of the items that was like more than 50%. It was marked down a lot, so I jumped on that chance. Definitely want to play with this. And then the last thing I got at Space NK during the sale is this Oribe Côte d'Azur body travel set, which is really funny because if you guys watch my Lucky Bag, Beautylish Lucky Bag unboxing, I got like an Oribe travel bag with a bunch of things in there, but these 2 things were not included. So I feel like I have a whole set now. But this has the body cream and the body wash in here. So I'm really excited to have this. As you guys know, I travel quite a bit, and it's nice to have a little bit of home with you when you're away. Generally, I'll just use whatever's in the hotel, but when I go away like for a while, like I just did in New York, I was away for about 2 weeks. It's rough. Like the hotel soap, my skin was like killing me. So anyway, I'm glad to have a little bit of that for my next trip. And that's what I got during the Space NK sale. I also purchased a few things from Neiman Marcus before I left, mainly because I wanted this Guerlain highlighter. So this is the Meteorites holographic powder, and it comes in this really fun white plastic case. It looks like it's like a pillow cushion or like a present without its ribbon. And here is the inside of the highlighter. So here are some swatches of the highlight. I did the pink by itself, the purple by itself, and then the swatch all the way on the right is the 2 shades kind of mixed together. And this was another product I got a chance to play with before I left. And the pink was too pink, the purple was too purple, but together they actually make a nice like cool toned highlighter. So even though there are two very distinct shades in here, I think I'll just be, you know, running my brush across both of them so I can use them together. The sheen on this is really pretty. Again, just like the Rodial palette, I played with it, but very, very quickly. So I don't have my final determination on this, but so far I really, really like it. And then the rest of the things that I got at Neiman Marcus were from brands that I really wanted to try. I feel like I'm on this kick now between the Rodial and these two things coming up, or these two brands, I should say. This is the Cashew Weiss. I think that's how you pronounce it. I got the lip tint, and this is one of those organic beauty companies. I think she is based out of, is it Sweden? Denmark, sorry. This lip tint, however, is made in Italy. And so this is the red box that it comes in. It has this like really kind of like official looking stamp on here. It's like this tape that goes over it. It kind of reminds me of stationery. Actually, you know what it reminds me of? Cigarette packs. They have like this label over it. Anyway, it also has this little stamp on the back where it says organic cosmetic. So all of the ingredients in the Cashew Weiss makeup line is organic. Also, most, if not all of the products are also refillable, which is really cool. So here's a close-up of the component. It's like a very, very weighty chrome finish swing away top. And then this lip tint just sort of sits in there. It's magnetized inside the case. So I purchased the lip tint in shade Captivate, I think is the name of the color. But it's this really great nude color, but there's like little gold bits in there. It's really, really pretty. I wore it a lot in New York. This is one of the things that I actually brought with me. Kept it in my purse. The one thing that's a little odd, I don't know if you can see it in this pan, but the lip tint, like the actual pan of it, it's like kind of like bumpy. It feels like there's little like harder bits in there. I don't know if it's because I brought it to New York and one day it was like a polar vortex cold, like it was 4 degrees out Fahrenheit. And I feel like the texture changed, but it never really changed back. Also, the magnet in here isn't that strong. So when it was really cold, I remember on that day, I whipped it out. I stuck my finger in there to get some off. And because it was so cold, and I guess the texture of this was harder, it just sort of stuck to my finger. And so when I pulled my finger away, the whole pan of this came off and then fell onto the ground. Thankfully, I was still at the apartment I was staying at, so it didn't totally gross me out, and I just kind of threw it back in. If I was in public and it fell like face down, I would have had to like kind of scrape the top. But anyway, just something I wanted to let you know, that the magnet on here is not that strong, and to kind of be careful if you are interested in this product. Other than that, I think the actual product is very, very nice. I wore it almost every day in New York. I kind of went between a bunch of different lip glosses and this guy, and it doesn't have any odor. It's just a lip tint. It kept my lips pretty moisturized. I mean, it was pretty brutal in New York. That one day it was very, very cold, and I thought I did a pretty decent job. I really like this, and it's kind of getting me into like the idea of wanting to try more things from this line. So that's exciting, and if you guys have tried things from this line, you have something to recommend, definitely let me know down below in the comment section. And then I also purchased 3 things from xoxo. This is that makeup brand that came out with that tinted face oil. I got it in the shade 3. And I did wear it once before I left. Now, the jury is still out because I think for me, I don't know if this product is for me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think it's very nice. I think it does look decent on the skin. And if you want me to do kind of like a full day wear test, I will. But I didn't like the way it actually felt on my skin. It's very, very light. But there is, again, kaolin in here that I'm seeing in more and more products, and it's something that dries out my skin. It eventually leads to eczema. So if I do end up keeping this, this is not something I can wear every day. But because this is a tinted face oil, I was really expecting it to be very dewy and radiant and moisturizing, and it really isn't. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. If you guys are really interested in this, let me know. I will do a full day wear test on that. I also purchased the Color and Light Pressed powder, blush, and highlighter. So they have like a blush and highlighter duo in pressed powder form and also in cream form. I decided to go for the powder because they just stay longer. I have a lot of creams that I haven't gone through that I need to go through that will probably go bad before I get a chance. So I thought I would just go ahead and get the powder. This I really, really like. I have this blush on right now. It is very pigmented, as you can probably tell from this swatch. And this highlighter is very beautiful too. It's subtle, but it's definitely very effective. It's not what I have on today, but this blush is just lovely. So I'm really enjoying this duo. And if you do want me to do a full day wear test for the tinted face oil, I'll use this as well so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And then the third thing I got from Kosas is their weightless lip color. So when I saw the word weightless, for some reason, I assumed that it was going to be like a very sheer, balmy kind of lip product, and it's not. It's actually a very kind of thick, opaque lip product. It's cream, but I felt like it's like a really, really thick, actually not very weightless at all, kind of more of like a long-lasting kind of formula. And it started to make my lips feel a little bit dry. So this is another one I want to play with a little bit more because I just want to make sure that it's not because of my preconceived notion of it that's kind of turning me off to it. I just want to make sure that I'm giving it like a fair shot. So I'm going to keep playing around with this. And again, we'll use it in a video if you guys want me to do a tinted face oil. I guess I'll do like a Kosas kind of look with all three of those products. So those are the few things that I got from Neiman Marcus before I left. Let me go ahead and show you what I purchased in New York because there's a lot of lip products. So while I was there, Hourglass was releasing a whole bunch of stuff. I think they were supposed to come out on the 25th, but I went to Bergdorf on like the 23rd, but they already had the tinted versions of their number 28 lip treatment oil. So Hourglass has this lip treatment oil that contains 20 essential oils and it's clear. And they've always had that as part of the line for as long as I can remember. And now they've just come out with them tinted. I think there's 6 different shades. So I purchased 2 because I really, really love like the treatment that the 28 essential oils give my lips. I actually have one on right now, and that's Cameo, which is the more like nude pinky color. And this is what they look like. And you just press down over here and it shoots the oil out the top over here. And then there's a window here to let you know, well, what color you have and also when it starts to empty. And I also purchased the color Icon, which is like the iconic red that Hourglass has in their line. So that's the other one that I have. And if you look at the swatch, the Icon actually looks like cherry syrup. I kind of love it. But neither of these have an actual fragrance. I think the smell that you smell with these lip treatment oils are the essential oils. It smells very kind of natural and spa-like, and I really like that. So I've been enjoying these. I didn't get a chance to use these while I was in New York. I just kind of busted them open when I got home. And I actually wore this one on the plane on the way home. Very nice. Very, very nice. I love the way my lips feel with them on and afterwards. So I'm enjoying these. So I got that at Bergdorf. So then I went to Barney's and I ended up getting more lip stuff. So Clé de Peau reformulated and kind of repackaged a little bit their lip luminizers. And now they're calling them the Refined Lip Luminizer. I got 2 colors, Old Rose and Rose Dragon. I think is how you pronounce it. So here's a close-up of the packaging. You'll see now that at the bottom of the 2, there's like this clear lucite piece with what looks like a swatch of the color that's inside. It's actually really, really beautiful and really cool. And I know the previous versions of the lip luminizers were refillable. So I have like 1 case, but I think I have 2 of the older lip luminizers and 1 is in and 1 is out. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I understand like the refillable case. It's very eco-friendly and all of that, but I have to say I kind of enjoy these more. And this formula is just gorgeous. I mean, they're really, really beautiful. I love the 2 colors that I picked. There's probably a couple more colors I could go for, but I started with these 2, which is plenty, and I just love them. These are like the perfect Michele kind of lipsticks. They're light, the color is sheer, easy to wear, they're so comfortable. Your lips feel better even after they've worn off. They're just really nourishing. So I'm loving these lip luminizers, and I wore these a couple of times while I was in New York, and it was just, oh, it was so, so wonderful against like the wind and the cold air. It was great. So I'm happy I picked those up. And then Clé de Peau also released a new luminizing face enhancer. These are their highlighters, and this color is number 18. I don't know if there's a name to it. I don't think so. This one I really like. So I have 2 of their other ones and I like them, but they're very, very subtle. They're definitely for like those no makeup days. This one seems a little bit more bold. So it comes in the beautiful Clé de Peau packaging. It has like that faceted top, and inside you will see the beautiful luminizer. So it has this really light peachy coloring to it. And like all of the Clé de Peau luminizers, there is an overspray. So if you look at the tester, all of the overspray will probably be gone. But if you end up purchasing it and you look at your new pan, you're gonna see like a lot of glitter on the top, and that will go away once you just run your finger over it. And then what you're left with is just this really kind of creamy powder underneath. And I want to say this is like their most typical highlighter. All the other ones I have, like I said, they're very subtle, or there's a little bit more of a color to them. Like one that I have, I think is like an apricot, and I wear that more as like a blush topper or just as my blush, and I just kind of spread it all around the blush highlight area and call it a day. But this one is a little bit more toned down, even though it has a bit of peach in there. But I want to say this is like their boldest like highlight so far, and it's really, really gorgeous. And of course, I swung by the Chantecaille counter, and they had just the lipsticks of the new like crystal collection they're going to be coming out with for spring. It's going to have eyeshadow, nail polish, and some other things, I think. But I picked up one of the new lipsticks. So there's 3 lipsticks that go with this limited edition special spring summer collection. And I got the color Citrine. The Citrine is really beautiful, but first let me show you what the bullet looks like. So the bullet kind of has a similar treatment to the Lisa Eldridge. So this whole like bullet treatment thing, and you know, Pat McGrath came out with her like Blitz trans lipsticks, and they all had like glitter on the outside. This is definitely a new trend, I guess a new technology that lipstick factories are embracing, but it's really cool. And this lipstick bullet is like coated in like velvet-like glitter. It's just really, really beautiful. And here is a swatch of Citrine. It's really quite different than what you see in the tube. This is so orange, and it just doesn't swatch that way. It's much more frosty. There's a lot of different shifts in there. It's really beautiful, but it is very, very glittery. So when I swatched this on my lips, when I actually put it on and then took it off, the glitter was everywhere, and it was kind of hard to remove, and I felt like it was there like the next day. It was one of those. It kind of lingered a little bit too much. You can also feel it a little bit. So while I love the actual effect that you get on the lips, the experience of like wearing it, the whole experience from wearing it to having to take it off was not the best, but it is a lot of fun, and I could sit here and stare at this bullet for hours. It's just mesmerizing. I love like the texture on there, and oh, it's just, it looks like the whole tube was just kind of like rolled in like micro fine gold glitter. So anyway, bravo to Chantecaille for, again, like beautiful packaging. This packaging is very similar to their lip veils. I actually have one right here. It's a little bit fatter. The lip veils are kind of skinny and long, but they're squared off, they're magnetized. There's a polar bear on there, so that's probably one of the charities that they're supporting with this collection. So the foundation they're going to be donating proceeds to is not, well, it's not directly for polar bears, but it indirectly is for polar bears. I'll just read quickly what it says. Without ice, polar bears and many other species cannot survive. Warming oceans and melting glaciers are a direct result of global warming. What can we do to protect these animals and their habitats? We can plant trees, which offset the carbon emissions caused by shrinking ice caps and global warming. Chantecaille is proud to join the Perfect World Foundation and Sir David Attenborough in their initiative to plant trees and create the Attenborough Canopy in Kenya. Every sale of lip crystal will plant a tree and protect the future of our planet. So that makes me happy. I just planted a tree with this purchase. So I'm glad I picked this up. I'm glad I didn't pick up the other ones. I was going to get 2, and then I thought, you know what, let me just get the Citrine. And I'm glad I only stuck with 1, because that massive glitter, it's not something I'm going to be wearing often. So anyway, I am excited to get the rest of that collection when it comes out. And then I went to Sephora and I got, I think I mentioned this like more than a year ago, but when I shop at Sephora in person, I get very, very different things than when I shop at Sephora online. It's so strange. I don't know, I think when I shop in person, it's a little bit more impulse purchases. So I got the RMS Beauty Luminizer Quad, and this is another brand I've been wanting to try. So I got like 4 things in this haul from brands I've never used before, but I've always been curious about. I don't know. I guess it's all that New Year talk that really got to me. But I've been wanting to try RMS, and I've been wanting to try one of their little potted highlighters or bronzers, and this just seemed to make a little bit more sense because you get 4 of the luminizers in here. So this is Luminizer X, Luminizer Nude, Champagne Fizz, and then Champagne Rosé. So my swatches are Luminizer X, Luminizer Nude, this is left to right, Champagne Rosé, and then Champagne Fizz. They're all really nice. And again, I just, kind of played with this a little bit. I didn't really get to kind of put them on and wear them and kind of observe what was going on with these. So I'm looking forward to giving those a shot. And then this is such a random product, but I got the Anastasia Beverly Hills glitter adhesive. So I think it's because I've been going through my collection and decluttering and everything, and there are a lot of eyeshadows that I like to use, especially the Natasha Denona, that I think would benefit from a glitter adhesive, and I don't really have one that I love. There's, I think, an Inglot, oh no, a Lit Cosmetics one that I like, but I don't like the packaging of it. You have to use their little brush, which I don't have, because that's what fits into the little opening of it, or you have to pour it out. And I don't know, that's just annoying. And this seems to have better packaging because it comes in what kind of looks like a nail polish bottle. And so there's a nail polish brush in here that you can use to apply the glitter adhesive. So I thought this would be much easier to use, and I don't know, I kind of want to amp up my eyeshadow looks this year. See what happens. I did also stop into Aesop. Actually, this was my first stop when I got into New York. I went down to the Oculus and I went to the Aesop store down there, and I re-upped on the Rind Concentrate Body Balm. I got a new tube of this, and I just used up the last bit of the previous tube that I had. So this was very good timing. I also picked up the Resurrection Hand Balm. It looks really crazy beat up because I've been carrying it around in my bag since I got it on the first day that I arrived in New York. My hands are so dry, but I think it did a pretty decent job while I was in New York, especially because of the weather and, I was knitting and everything. Anyway, I think this is a great hand balm. It stays a little bit oily on my hands for a bit. It doesn't sink in super quickly or as quickly as I would like, but it is very, very moisturizing, and I do love the fragrance of it. It's very, very fresh. And then I also re-upped on the body wash that I used. So I got kind of a small bottle of this. This is a Rose by Any Other Name body cleanser. I think I mentioned this to you guys, and I was like, I'm already done with it. I need to just get a big bottle. I got it in the big 500 milliliter bottle, and it has a little pump there. So you're probably wondering why I would go to New York and get big bottles like this when I can just get them at home. But I have a friend that works at Aesop, and she was able to give me her discount on this stuff. So it really helped. So that's why I got the stuff in New York and muled it back home. And then I also got the Reverence Aromatic Hand Wash. This is the one that has little bits in there, and someone actually recommended this to me, one of you, thank you very much, because it actually exfoliates your hands as you wash them. It made my hands feel a little bit dry after I used it, but I really liked the exfoliating effect that it had, so I thought, let me just give it a shot. So I got a 500 ml bottle of this as well. And then I couldn't resist. I had to bring something home for Miss Fuzzy Butters, and she gets plenty of treats and toys because we have a subscription to BarkBox, so I didn't want to bring any more of that in. So I got her the Aesop Animal shampoo. This has lemon rind, tea tree leaf, and spearmint leaf. It smells so, so good. So I can't wait to give her a bath and try this out. I think she's gonna like it. So I think that's all I got in New York. Not that's all, but I think that's it. And then I had placed some orders online while I was in New York. They were waiting for me when I got home, and that would be a box from Chanel. And so I got the new, I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce this, but it is the 9-pan palette in Quintessence. And it is this guy that has the blues and greens in there. At first, I was not that tempted by this palette. I thought the color story was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit odd. But when I started to look at the groupings, the colors, the 3 sets of 3 in here, I don't know, it started to make a little bit more sense to me. And then I was watching Allison Chase here on YouTube, and she did a whole review on the palette, and now she's starting to do different looks with the palette, and I thought that's really nice. So I decided to pick this up. Here are some swatches, and I want to say, I think the first grouping, the silver, brown, and red, those swatched the nicest. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to actually put these on my eyelids and wear them, but those swatched the nicest. They were like the creamiest and the smoothest. The other swatched, you know, fine, but those were like right off the bat, like I could feel like that they felt really, really creamy. So I can't wait to give this a shot. Again, let me know if you want a dedicated video. I also purchased the Ombre Premier in Patine Bronze. Is that the name of this? Yeah, Patine Bronze, $8.40. And this is just, oh, this is so beautiful. And I like this Ombre Premier formula a little bit better than their Illusion d'Ombre. Their Illusion d'Ombre is like spongier and softer, and I feel like that one dries out a little bit more quickly than this Ombre Premier. But this is like a little bit more putty-like. It's a little bit denser, I think. Isn't that just stunning? I cannot wait to play around with this. So I think both of these things are limited edition. I'm not sure, but I'll put it down in the description box, or at least I'll try and find some information online. And I also got the multi-use glow stick sculpting. So Chanel just came out with 2 of these multi-use glow sticks. One is sculpting and one I think is just a balm. So I was actually in store in New York before I placed this order because I wasn't sure how I felt about these and I wanted to kind of test them. So this is the sculpting one, which would make me think that it is more of like a contour, but it's not. Their sculpting is a highlighter stick. So it is really, really beautiful. It is kind of balmy. It's kind of metallic and reflective. It's subtle too. Like, it's just a really beautiful stick. Other one that they have that I assumed was going to be like this one, I think is like the glow highlighty one. That one is just like a balm. So I didn't bother getting that because on all of the Pat McGrath highlighter stick duos, they have a balm on one side. I'm like, I don't really need more clear balms to highlight my face. So I just picked this up, the sculpting one, and I'm really excited to use this. So maybe I could do like a Chanel video kind of using all 3 of these things. Let me know. Let me know. That would be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that eyeshadow palette. It's one of those palettes that is definitely growing on me. Like, the more I look at it, the more I like it. And then last, but definitely not least, is the brand new Sisley L'Orchidée Corals. So this is basically their orchid highlighting blush. This is basically their highlighter blush with white lily. They currently have, well, they currently have 3 colors, but previously they only had 2 colors. One was like a peach and one was like a pink. So it was like cool or warm toned. And I could never decide which one I wanted. You know, I'd go in store and swatch. Am I in a pink mood? Am I in a peach mood? Which one am I going to wear more? I could never decide, and I never picked one up. And this one, to me, at least in the pictures, really looked like it was kind of in between. And I wasn't sure like what was overspray and what wasn't overspray in this pan because there's a lot going on. So if you look at this closely, like the gold is all overspray, but the different colors, like the peach and the dark peach and this like mid-tone peach here, these are all like all the way through the pan. So those are not overspray, but the gold flecks are. But it's okay because in this like light peach area, like the background of the orchid, this color, it has a lot of gold in there. So I don't feel like once this overspray is gone, you won't get any kind of like golden effect at all. You still have it in the peach there. So I've only swatched this. I have not actually tried it on my face yet, and I'm dying to. So I can't wait to play around with this. I think it would be a little bit weird to have a dedicated video just to this, but maybe I could do one just to show you what it looks like on my cheek and maybe compare it to some other like blushes or highlighters that I have in my collection. Again, let me know down below in the comments section. All right, that is it. So I'm gonna put everything down below in the description box that I talked about. Let me know what you want dedicated videos on. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.